Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert. So we're talking about optimal health strategies for 2022. So let's talk vitamin D because it is such an important nutrient and so many people are deficient. So the first bit of advice I have for you is get your levels tested. And you possibly want to be doing this about twice a year. So ideally in the winter months, possibly around January would be a good time. And then later again in the summer, so the end of the summer around September. So the reason I say this is because vitamin D produced in the skin, transported to the liver, can be stored in the liver for about 3 months before it's then sent again to the kidney to be finally activated to be used in the body, okay? So that means that when we get optimal sunlight, we get the UVB rays, we can make lots of pre-vitamin D molecule in our skin and send it to the liver to be stored. And this is ideally happening between May and September. That's where we would be producing and storing most vitamin D. So you want to see what your amount is like when you, after the summer period, so sometime in October, I think it would be good to test. And then you want to look at what it's like when we get to the beginning of the new year, so around January, possibly February. Because we have storage for about 3 months, so that means if we finish the big production there in September, we've got October, November, December. So there's your 3 months. So by the time you get to January, February, you're going to be, you could be low. We don't want you to be low, but you could be low. So getting it tested a couple of times a year is going to be a good thing. Now, you can ask your doctor. They may be helpful and they may not be helpful. And if they're not helpful, then you can do this as a private test. And in the blog, in the article in the blog, there's some links to where you can do the testing. It's not terribly expensive, but it is very, very important because vitamin D levels are essential for your immune health. And many other things like bone health, yeah. So latest information about the absorption of vitamin D, but also the activating. So remember, I said that you're making the pre-vitamin D in the skin. It's then sent to the liver where it's activated to another form. And then finally it's sent to the kidney where it's activated again to the form which the body will use both as a hormone and as a vitamin. So every time we change one molecule to another molecule, we will be using enzymes. So that means there's some genetics involved, so DNA. Some will have lots of the DNA to make the enzymes to convert vitamin D. Some of you might not. That could be a weakness, yes. But also these enzymes need activating. And we know that magnesium people is essential for the final activating or the activation of the vitamin D in the kidney. So you want to make sure that you're getting lots of magnesium. Definitely if you are taking vitamin D as a supplement, you want to make sure you've got magnesium there. And even vitamin K2 is also proving to be very important for the absorption of vitamin D taken as a supplement. But if you're getting lots of sunshine, you just still want to make sure you're getting lots of vitamin D, lots of magnesium, so you can activate the vitamin D to its final, very powerful hormone vitamin state. Okay, so it's really, really important getting lots of vitamin D because it's going to increase your immune system, possibly more than many other things. Okay, so there's also an article in the blog about more immune health, so I've also noted it there, but there are other things you need to do as well. But vitamin D is possibly on the top of the list. So have a look at the article down below. It'll give you the levels of vitamin D in the blood in nanomoles per litre, which is how we test it in Europe. But in other places in the world, it could be a different measure that is used. So I've given you the 4 categories: deficient, insufficient, and sufficient for most people. And then if you do have osteoporosis or kidney problems, then you need actually much more or higher levels of vitamin D than other people. Okay, so have a little look at those things. And as I said, you can see where you can test the vitamin D. You can also see where you can buy some vitamin D as a supplement. Okay. Yes, very, very important. Vitamin D, getting more of vitamin D in 2022. Happy hormones, happy life.